Welcome to a holiday edition of Rewind Heroes. I'm your co-host, Greg Compton.
And I'm your other co-host, Dan Gaines. This is your video podcast where we talk everything movies, music, television, everything that Greg and I find cool.
That's right, and we're probably going to be taking a couple weeks off because of the holidays, travel, family, everything like that. And we decided we'd put together this second episode for this week, basically on things that we think you should check out if you've got some time off, whether you took it off for work or with your kids, whatever the case may be. Just some stuff we kind of liked around the holiday season.
Yep.
So I think we should just start kicking into some recommendations, don't you think?
Let's do it.
Let's get to some recommendations.
So Greg, I know we're all still smiling after Rogue One, but let's go ahead. Let's hear what you've got first for the audience. What should we be watching, listening? What should we be doing?
Other than all things Rogue One?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing I just checked out was Kubo and the Two Strings. I think it's just now hit Redbox. It was to buy on demand, and now you can rent it. That's how I did it. This thing kind of flew under the radar, but you started to hear people talk about it. This is done as stop animation, much like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Though you wouldn't know it by watching it. It is so
that
smooth,
right?
and it has to be helped with other things. But the story in this is great. I mean, it's definitely very much a Japanese feel. There's a lot of magic involved. A small child trying to stay safe, and he's on a journey. And I don't want to give a lot of the plot away, but one of the magical things that he gets magic from his mother. But when he plays his instrument, he has these pieces of paper. I mean, it starts, I'll just describe one scene, where he's in this downtown area, kind of panhandling in this small village. And he puts the papers down, and he starts to tell this story. And as he's playing, the magic starts to make the paper fold into the characters of the story, and they start interacting with what he's doing. And he has a lot of chances where he could do that. Voice acting is very good in this. There's an interesting choice. If you've seen the pictures, there's a monkey in this. That's a trinket that turns into a real monkey. And it's voiced by Charlize Theron. And it just doesn't really fit until you find out more about the character, and then it fits perfectly. But at the beginning, it doesn't really flow. Yeah. And you're like, oh no, this actually fits perfectly. Matthew McConaughey has a voice in this, and I think it kind of steals it. The character's suffering some memory loss of his back history. But it's great. I mean, he does a really wonderful job. But yeah, the animation is just miraculous. The story is great. It's just different. And the score is really wonderful, too. A lot of traditional Japanese music, including a very cool version of When My Guitar Gently Weeps by the Beatles. I cannot remember who does it. It might be Regina Spektor, I'm not sure. But it's wonderful. So check out Kubo if you get a chance. There are some scary moments. So if you have kids, I'm not probably going to let mine watch it because the mom has two sisters, the aunts, that come in, and it's straight up horror show. I mean, they are floating over the water, and their voices are simultaneously together.
Really?
Kubo, come to us. Don't be scared. And their faces don't move. There's some terrifying stuff in this movie, yes.
I just assumed that you did watch this with your kids.
No, I just watched. I wanted to watch it, and
I'd
seen, if you watch the trailer, there are a few scenes that I have a 3-year-old that he used to not be scared of much, but now he's getting to that age. And the other day we were watching E.T., which we've done many times. His brother loves it, but this time he's sitting. They have a little table near the TV that they draw. Oh, E.T. came on, and he just looked at. He was coloring, looks up, and he sees the spaceship, puts the crayon down, goes, "Nope," stands up and ran to the kitchen. And a minute later, his little head just pops around the corner of the kitchen. He sees it's dark and then they're like out in the woods. He goes,
"Not having
it," and it pops his head out. So that nope is the 3-year-old version of F this, I'm out. So
all right, fair enough.
So, but check it out first, and then if you got older kids, I think my 7-year-old would be fine with it. So just a few little ones. What do you have?
So mine actually is a little more family friendly. I think you could take your kids. But if you're out, you want to go check out something in theaters, and you're not necessarily wanting to battle the lines of Rogue One, because I'm sure it's going to be crazy. Go see Disney's Moana. This is your new film that's kind of the latest Disney princess film. And I've got to tell you, I had an absolute blast sitting down watching this. I mean, it was felt like you were going in and watching a 2-hour adventure. I mean, everything from the visuals, it was absolutely stunning. It's incredible what Disney does with animation now, but what they do with their stories. I mean, and Disney, this is nothing new. Disney's always been elite at storytelling, but this is no exception. I mean, I left... it's no joke. I could not stop smiling during this entire film, and it felt as though I was watching an instant classic. I'm not going to give a ton away, but basically the overall story Moana is the daughter of the chief, and they are islanders, and they've always stayed on this island.
Okay.
But she's called to the ocean. She always wants to go beyond what they say. No one goes beyond the reef. Something calls to her that she needs to get off this island. She needs to help the people on her island. And I'm telling you, it is an absolute, never stop enjoying it from the beginning to end. The guy you were talking about performances, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, plays Maui in this. He's phenomenal. There's a lot of, I would say a lot of references maybe to even the Genie and Aladdin.
Okay.
It kind of has that tone to it.
Great.
And I'm not familiar with the actress that plays Moana. I do know she's a new voice actress, and she was phenomenal. But the other part of this movie, outside of just the visuals, was the score and the original music. This is a musical, and like I said, it's just it screams to you like you've been listening to this stuff your whole life. It falls right in line with The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast.
Good.
Very, very well done. So check it out. It's a good time.
Something to kind of break up the Frozen craziness, which
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
still hitting hard. So,
And,
yeah.
and honestly, I know a ton of people love that film, and I thought it was better than that.
I definitely plan on checking it out.
Yeah, so do that.
Well, on top of that, we've got some music, because music is a big thing of the holidays, right? And so I obviously love music, so I've got some that I like. Now, some people say they hate holiday music. Some people love the traditional stuff, but some people think it's hokey, so they don't listen to anything. There are other options out there. And some of my favorites, I really like it when they kind of get that big band swing, like the Sinatra, Dean Martin stuff. I like that. But there's more than just that, and there's some newer ones that have come out. One of the big ones is Brian Setzer and Brian Setzer Orchestra. He's the lead guy from the Stray Cats trio, very rockabilly. He's a guitar virtuoso, and I've talked about some of his stuff before. But the Brian Setzer Orchestra has some really cool takes on Christmas songs. They've got a handful of albums out, but one I would recommend is actually called Christmas Comes Alive, because it is it's a live album from one of his Christmas shows, because he goes and does those.
Okay.
And so it's almost kind of like a greatest hits as well to get started with. It's very much like jet-fueled versions of Rudolph and Winter Wonderland and
That's
just
cool.
Jingle Bell Rock and all this, with just like that driving, upstanding bass, screaming trumpets, like a 15-piece orchestra or whatever behind him, with these killer guitar licks, and it's just fun, and like a whole family can enjoy it. Another band that does similar stuff would be Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. They've got 2 albums.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, my favorite is Everything You Want for Christmas, and it has some originals as well as some classic takes on things. Their second album is more traditional music. We'll post some stuff. They played the Palladium this year, and I missed it. I saw it came out that day. I was like, oh, I missed it. But last year I went to their holiday show. I've seen them 4 times.
And the Palladium's here in Indianapolis for all you out-of-towners.
And most of you probably are here that watch us because you're our friends and you support us. Thank you. No, I mean, it's so good. I'll have to send you some clips throughout some for people, because it really gets you in the spirit. The only other ones I could think of were Royal Crown Review, which was big, like in that neo swing time, along with Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. And they haven't done much, but they have Don't Be a Grinch this year, and they bring in a guest vocalist, Jennifer Keith, and they do some really cool versions of like Cool Yule, which is the Louis Armstrong song, and also some neat originals. So it's a lot of fun. If you're more of a metalhead, I'm sure you've heard of Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but they've got a lot of albums, but 3 that are basically their Christmas albums. So check those out. If you see the flashing lights on the homes set to music, it sounds kind of metal. Wizards in Winter is one of their songs that a lot of people have set their homes to. So when you see those, that's most likely them. And if you like some more traditional jazz, Wynton Marsalis has a really great Christmas album. And if you're boring, Chris Bodie has one, which is really kind of slow, but it's nice for the times. And Harry Connick Jr. has some great stuff too. So that's just all the ones I'm thinking of. And if you could find not our Rewind Heroes page on Spotify, which you should listen to, but my own personal one, it's either under Real Compton or Great Compton. I can't remember what I set it as. But I do have a playlist of holiday music just because I like that, around the time. I've also got one for Halloween and a whole bunch of other playlists, but you could kind of just give it a spin. So.
Cool. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love listening to Christmas music, and I'm one of those, I just pick a station or put it on Spotify and let them pick it for me, and I never really even know, I don't even think I pay attention to who it is singing. Maybe I've even heard some of this stuff and
You
didn't realize
probably heard some of the Brian Setzer stuff. That's kind of huge, but some of these others are kind of just off in the woodwork, but they're so good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to check it
She's
out.
listening to my channel. Gosh, come on.
What am I doing?
So that's pretty much just what we're thinking you can check out for the holidays, and then we'll be back at the new year, and we might actually cover our best of 2016. So
It's gonna
look
be fun.
forward to that. Where can they find us on the old interwebs?
Yeah, so basically follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We're on all of those at Rewind Heroes. But if you're looking for me, which I don't know if you are, but if you aren't, you should be. I'm simply at Dan Gaines on all of those platforms. What about you, Greg?
It's not Humble Dan. G-Cop to 007. You can find me on Twitter. So,
And before you do a close, I just want to say thank you guys. We've been doing this, since
is like-
June?
yeah,
So
we're hitting
we've
27,
had
28 episodes, something like
It's been a blast, and here we are at the
Yeah.
end of 2016. For those of you that do watch us, we do appreciate it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Greg and I joke that if the camera wasn't on, we'd be having these conversations anyway.
Because we do.
But it's fun to have at least somewhat of an audience out there
Yeah.
that's sharing this stuff with us. And keep coming back, because we're trying to plan some new stuff in 2017 that we think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, and you think if we got everybody together at like a pub meetup at a bar or something,
Yeah.
we could fill a whole 20-person room, and it would just be awesome, right? We could all talk
It'd be
movies.
a cool group of people.
We
I'm
should
sure.
throw like a party for that.
That'd
That would
be
be
fun.
kind of cool.
That would be.
All right. Well, until next time, be kind.
And please rewind.